Part 2 new look on a video on Dave Lee on investing. I'm going to take a quote. This is Dave Lee talking about Elon Musk. He said, "The guy has the same amount of hours in a day as me or you, so he's got limited time for an unending amount of demands that his companies have." Uh, Unquote. The idea would be for Elon to eventually hand over the reins to some of his companies, like give them over to some uh, leaders that can deal with it. And I would maybe assume that Elon would kind of have floating promotions or priorities, floating priorities from that point on as far as the companies go. Now, as far as Project X commitment letter, I think that this is going to kind of separate business and finance. So let's listen to the Project X commitment letter.
You have advised each of Morgan Stanley Senior Funding, Bank of America, B of A Securities, Barclays Bank PLC, MUFG Bank, BNP, BNP Securities, Mizuho Bank, Sogen, that xHOLDINGS and xHOLDINGS 2 Inc., a Delaware corporation, and xHOLDINGS 1 Inc., a Delaware corporation, formed at the direction of Elon R. Musk and his affiliates, intend to acquire, directly or indirectly, all of the outstanding equity interest of, or directly or indirectly merge with, Twitter Inc. You have further advised us that in connection with the foregoing, you intend to consummate the other transactions described in the transaction description attached hereto as Exhibit A. Capitalized terms used but not defined herein shall have the meanings assigned to them in the transaction description and in the summaries of principal terms and conditions attached hereto as Exhibit B, Exhibit C, and Exhibit D.
So it appears that with this X Holdings 1, X Holdings 2, and the Project X commitment letter to Elon R. Musk, there would be an acquisition, whether it be directly or indirectly, of Twitter, in this document also known as the company. They would possibly merge with other companies, like Dave Lee said in the video, although he wasn't too sold on that idea. Then I looked into what other kinds of priorities the X holdings could have, and I thought of food, clothes, medicine, and education. And I drew an X. I put them in each open space of the X. So I kind of feel like there's a lot of research and development in food, especially with SpaceX working with NASA and the Deep Space Food Challenge and other promotions that can potentially get the cost of food down. Clothing, I don't really know anything about, unfortunately. I haven't really researched too much into it. In terms of Dog on Mars, I've mentioned Kim Kardashian getting it on clothing for the Methuselah Foundation on medicine. So, Methuselah Foundation working with anti-aging research and development. They could be kind of like the medicine department of that. And as far as education, Dave Lee was mentioning education in his piece. He was talking about the potential like Tesla University, or maybe just like X University. And I looked a little bit into that, and like you can actually invest. Publicly traded education technology companies are rare, but they exist. Colleges have hedge funds. many high schools are even opening funds for their students to learn and invest in. So that, I think, would be an incredible combination: food, clothes, medicine, and education being a part of xHOLDINGS. How they would do that, I'm not sure. But if I think that there's going to be a business side and a finance side kept separately so that the companies can do work and then the finances can do their job in promoting the betterment of the company's missions, then perhaps there will need to be some a big mix of financial portfolio, I would say, in potentially one of the xHOLDINGS. That would be my projection, and I would like to see the other be the food, clothes, medicine, and education. Maybe they would be kind of divided between those two business and finance divisions, like I said, in different forms. Cryptocurrencies and different businesses could potentially be involved. So I will find out if it is possible indeed for any xHOLDINGS to hodl any crypto moving forward. Later.